Microsoft Office is the key tool used almost in every workplace to handle documents, data and presentations, especially in the fields like finance, administration, marketing, customer service, and project management. This is why Microsoft Office Assessment Test is a common part of many job interviews. It checks how well you can use Word, Excel, and PowerPoint to complete real-world business tasks like formatting reports, analyzing data, and creating clear professional presentations. The test also looks at your productivity and how well you can use new features, including AI tools like Microsoft CoPilot. Whether you're getting ready for job interview or just wanted to sharpen your Office skills, you're in the right place, and this video is going to help you to get prepared.
Hi there, this is Vadim from Online Training for Everyone. And in this video, you will have everything you need to get ready and pass the assessment test.
In this video, we will walk through real sample questions step by step, so you will not only know what to expect, but also learn how to tackle each part with confidence. I'll share with you the correct answers, detailed explanation, and helpful strategies to boost your chances of passing the test. The questions appear in random order, so I recommend watching the entire video to get the most practice and insight.
Before we begin, let me introduce myself.
My name is Vadim Michalenko. I hold an MBA and master's degree in computer science. I have worked in the information technology field for over 20 years, and I've spent more than 15 years teaching people how to succeed in their careers. I created Online Training for Everyone and the website howtoanalyzedata.net to help people like you pass interview and assessment test and get you hired for your dream job.
Many people successfully pass their tests after watching videos like this. Hopefully, it will help you as well.
If you're short on time and need to prepare quickly for a pre-employment exam, check out the premium practice materials linked in the description and comments below. Before we jump in, make sure to click subscribe and stay updated on the latest questions. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video.
If you have any questions, please post them in comments. I reply to every message. And now, let's go ahead and get started.
In this question, you need to determine which function adds up only the sales above 1000. I think you might have guessed it. The correct answer is choice A, sumif. As you can see in the data, only Alice's and Sarah's value meet the condition. The result of formula is 2800, which is 1300 plus 1500. In this question, you're presented with region, product, and sales data, and you need to determine which Excel tool lets you summarize data into interactive reports. To access the tool, let's navigate to Select Data, insert Pivot Table, and then Group by Region. We'll choose New Worksheet, and then we'll select Region, Product, and Sales to show the data as the interactive report. And the correct answer in this question is choice A, Pivot Table. Which feature of Microsoft Word lets you save a block of text to reuse later in Word? Quick parts are perfect for saving text you use often, like disclaimers, email closings, or signature blocks, so you don't have to type them again and again. To add one, highlight the repeated text, then go to Insert tab, click Quick Parts, and choose Save Selection into Quick Parts Library. To reuse it later, place the cursor where you want it, return to Quick Parts, and select your saved entry. It pops right back in instantly. This saves time and ensures consistency in all your documents. And the correct answer here is choice C, Quick Parts. In this question, you need to determine which formula ranks values from highest to lowest. As you might have guessed, there is a formula in Excel which shows the position of a number in a list of relative to others. Let's position John's sales relative to Alice, Mark, Sarah, and Tom. So we entered John's sales as a first value and then the range for the rest of the crew. And you can see that John is number 4 after Sarah, Alice, and Tom. And the correct answer here is choice B, rank. In this question, you need to determine what Excel formula returns today date that updates automatically. As you might have guessed, the correct answer here is choice A, today. And this is how we can use it. In any cell, we can type today, and it will auto-display the current date, which means that the correct answer here is choice A, today. In this question, you're presented with the list of the departments, and you need to determine which Excel feature allows users to create drop-down menus for cell inputs. To create inputs, we need to navigate to the Data tab and then select Data Validation. In Data Validation, we need to select List, and for the source, select our departments. After we clicked OK, you see that the drop-down was added, and now you see Marketing, HR, Sales, and Finance in the list of the department, which means that the correct answer here is choice A, Data Validation. Which word feature helps improve reading focus by letting you increase text spacing, highlight one line at a time, and change the page background color? There is a cool new feature in Word called Immersive Reader, which is designed to reduce eye strain and improve your focus. It lets you customize how text appears by increasing spacing between lines and letters, narrowing the column width, highlighting just 1 or 3 lines at a time, and changing the background color to a softer tone. In this question, you're presented with the full name and title, and you need to determine which Excel function can split text into multiple cells by a comma. As you might have guessed, the correct answer is choice A. To use it, we need to point to a cell which requires splitting, which we will use John Smith Manager, and then we need to supply correspondent values. As you can see, the values have been broken into 3 separate components. In this question, you're presented with the list of names and departments, and you need to determine which function dynamically returns a filtered list based on a condition. As you might have guessed, the correct answer here is filter function, which returns an array of values that meet the specified criteria. For example, when we filtered based on marketing department, the returned values are John and Mark, which matches the original data. You're presented with the list of client names, and you need to determine which Excel function best removes duplicate values in a column. As you might have guessed, the correct answer here is choice A, unique. This function returns a list of distinct values from the range, effectively removing the duplicates. What feature should you use in Word to allow others to view a document but prevent them from making changes? The Restrict Editing tool in Word lets you limit what others can change. You can set the document to read-only and require password to unlock editing, which helps protect the integrity of important files. For important documents like Company Handbook, you can navigate to Review, Protect, Restrict Editing, and in the panel select Allow only this type of editing in this document and select No Changes Read-Only, which means that the correct answer to this question is choice C. In the next question, you need to determine which function generates a list of sequential numbers automatically. The correct answer is choice C, sequence, and this is how you use it. In the empty cell, we need to type sequence, and then in parentheses, add the number of sequential numbers that we need to generate. For example, I'm trying to generate 5 numbers, and you see they have been generated in the rows 8 through 12. You have a list of names and phone numbers. What is the easiest way to organize them in a table? If your text is separated by tabs or commas, Word can automatically structure it into a table. This is how you do it. Select the text, go to Insert, Table, Convert Text to Table, and choose comma as a delimiter. And the correct answer for this question is choice C. In the next question, you're presented with monthly sales data, and you need to determine which Excel feature is used to quickly analyze trends in the row of numbers. As you might have guessed, the feature is called Sparkline, and this is how you access it. You select the data that you need to analyze, then you navigate to Insert, Line, and then in the location range, you will add a value where final chart will show up. And the correct answer here is choice D, sparkline. Why should you use styles, for example, heading 1, instead of just bolding or enlarging the text manually? Using heading styles helps Word recognize structure, making table of contents and navigation easier. Let me show you how to do it. First, you need to highlight the titles. In the Home tab, select Styles and Heading 1 for each. Then place your cursor on the top of the document. Go to References, Table of Content, and then Automatic Table 1. And then watch Word instantly generate a clickable table of content based on your headings. This is why the correct answer here is choice C. Here's an interesting Microsoft Excel test question, which tests your knowledge of Excel formulas. You need to show how to add current date and time in Microsoft Excel using formula, and then format it as long date. Do you know how to do it? Give yourself 5 to 10 seconds to see if you can come up with the formula. And I am going to move forward and show you the solution. In fact, the solution is very simple. All you need to do is type in the now function. Now function returns the date and time in the standard format. To format it as long date, you need to navigate to the Home ribbon tab, and in the Number Format section, select the long date. Did you figure it out on your own? Hope you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's an amazing question we see on the test more and more often. You need to find the correct output of Microsoft Excel function, and you're presented with the statement equal sign, floor, and then in parentheses 64,5. You have 4 different choices to select from. Choice A, 60, choice B, 65, choice C, 63, and last but not least, choice D, 70. Take a close look, refresh your memory, and see if you can select the right answer. On my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. Let's jump to Microsoft Excel, where we can solve this together. Let's put the floor function into the cell B2. Once we type the function, you see that it accepts 2 arguments. The first argument is the number. The second argument is significance. The floor function is used to round number down to the nearest integer based on the multiple of the significance. So the correct answer here is 60, which is represented by choice A. Did you figure it out correctly? Or did you have a different answer? Please make sure to post your answer and solution as well as rationale in comments. Here's the very interesting question to test your knowledge of rounding in Microsoft Excel. Technology startup company sent 46 members for an off-site training. At the training facility, they were organized into 7 member groups. Which Excel formula do you need to use to calculate number of teams with all members, ignoring any remainders? You're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, divide cell A2 by B2. Choice B, you use round down formula and supply A2 divided by B2 as a first argument, and as a second argument you supply 0. Choice C, you use round formula and then supply A2 divided by B2, and second argument you supply as 0. And last but not least, you use round up formula, and then in parentheses you supply division of A2 by B2 and second argument as 0. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Because on my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, or have any other feedback or suggestions, please make sure to post in comments. I believe the correct answer here is choice B, round down. And the reason is because to solve this challenge, we need to use Excel formula which rounds the number down to the nearest integer. To simulate this scenario in Microsoft Excel, let's use round down formula. And you can see that it rounds a number down towards 0. And then let's supply arguments A2 divided by B2. And the second argument, which indicates how many digits we're rounding down to, would be 0. And then you see that the number of full-size teams is 6. If you don't trust Excel like I do, let's confirm the calculations by dividing the cell A2 by B2 without using any formulas, and you see that the number here that was calculated is 6.5714, and the full number is 6, which meets our criteria for original question. Do you have a better solution? Please make sure your version and rationale in comments. Here's an amazing question to test your knowledge of basic Excel formulas. Isabella needs to find the maximum sales figure for March. Which selection is correct? You can see the data set, which shows sales for electronics, appliances, home and garden, and clothing. And sales figures are for January, February, and March. You need to select one of the 4 following choices. Choice A. The formula would be sum, and the data range will be D2 through D5. Choice B. The formula would be average, and the data set will be D2 through D5. Choice C. The formula will be max with the data range of D2 through D5, or formula will be large with the data set D2 through D5, 1. And last but not least, choice D, formula will be highest and the data set will be D2 through D5, or formula will be max with the data set D2 through D5. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the right choice. On my end, I am going to jump to Microsoft Excel to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I believe the correct answer here is choice C. 2 formulas that can help you accomplish the result are max with the range D2 through D5 and large with the range D2 through D5, 1. What's interesting about the max formula is that it always returns the largest value from the dataset. But large formula allows you to find the nth largest value in the dataset. For example, if I want to find the second largest value for March, I can just type the large formula, select the data range, and after comma, indicate 2. And as you can see, this brings the second value from the top. The first one would be 429.95, and then the second largest value is 360.91. Did you come up with the different answer? Please share your solution and rationale in comments. Here's an amazing question to test your knowledge of Microsoft Excel features. Purchase orders, POs, were mistakenly created with 2021 financial year ID. Which Excel feature allows you to change all purchase order starting numbers from 2021 to 2022? And you have 4 different choices. Choice A, consolidate. Choice B, flash fill. Choice C, goal seek. And last but not least, choice D, find and replace. Take a close look at the purchase order numbers in Microsoft Excel and see which feature would you choose to complete the action. Did you figure it out? I am moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I believe the correct answer here is choice D, find and replace, because find and replace feature in Microsoft Excel allows users to quickly search for and replace specific text or values in the worksheet. Let's jump to Microsoft Excel so I can show you an example. Here in Excel, I try to emulate the scenario from the question. In column A, you see purchase order numbers. To replace 2021 as a leading year, you need to navigate on the Home tab into the Find and Select area and click Replace. You're presented with Find and Replace box, and here we need to type in 2021 in Find What and replace it with 2022. I am going to demonstrate you 2 ways of doing the replace. Let's find the first value first. We click Find Next, and Microsoft Excel pointed us to the row 2. Here we can click Replace, and it will replace the value in the row 2 from 2021 to 2022. We can also use the feature called Replace All, which will complete remaining 9 replacements. So I believe the correct answer here is choice D, Find and Replace. Do you have a better solution? Please make sure to post your answer in comments. Here's an interesting question to test how well you know average formula as well as its variations. Isabella is trying to calculate the average new wave sales across all the regions. Which formula should she select? You're presented with the data set as well as 4 different choices. Choice A, average formula, and parameters to supply C2 through C10. Choice B, average A formula, and parameters supplied are C2 through C10. Choice C, average if formula, and the values are C2 through C10, and the second parameters is greater than 0. And last but not least is average if S, and then as the arguments you see the range C2 through C10, second argument is range A2 through A10, third argument is not equal to D, fourth argument B2 through B10, and the last argument is not equals to south. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the right answer. And on my end, I am going to jump to Excel to show you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might have guessed, the correct answer is choice A. All you need to do is type the average formula and then select the data set C2 through C10 to calculate the average sales value for all the regions. What's interesting about choice B is that technically it is also a correct answer. Average A with the range C2 through C10 will also calculate the average sales, but it includes all the values in the range, even if they have text or errors. In this case, since all values in the range are numbers, the two functions, choice A and choice B, will give you the same result. What's interesting is that option C, average if with the values C2 through C10 and second parameter greater than 0, calculates the average of all sales that are greater than 0 and gives you the same result. But it's not a recommended option because the end result may not always be the same as average of all sales. And the last choice, option D, average if S with all the parameters that we supply, calculates the average sales for all products and regions, except for the product soda and except the values in the South region. This is more specific calculation than the average of all sales and does not represent the right answer. Did this question trigger some thoughts or considerations in your mind? Please make sure to share in comments so we can all learn. Here's an amazing question which is not as easy to solve as it seems. Alexandra used today function to retrieve the current date, but it showed some decimal numbers. How should she fix the issue? You're presented with the snippet from Excel, which shows the date as well as the format in cell A2. And it shows that in the formula bar, it used the today function. And you need to select one of the four different choices. Choice A, wrong function used. Choice B, affected by regional settings. Choice C, wrong cell format. And then last but not least, choice D, data is centered in a cell. Do you know how to fix the error when using today function? Take a close look, maybe pause this video to see if you can come up with the solution. On my end, I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer, but obviously if you have a better way to solve it or have a different answer, please make sure to post in comments. As you might have figured out, the answer is C, wrong cell format. But why? Let's jump to Microsoft Excel to see how we can solve the issues. I try to simulate this scenario in Excel, and you see that cell A1 has a header, and cell A2 has the actual value. And even though we typed today function here, the answer here and the value is 44961 instead of the correct today's date. The key to answer this question is in the data format. If you click instead of general and select short date, you see that it will be formatted to the today's date, which is February 4th, 2023. To understand the issue, we need to understand the today function in Excel, as well as what happened when Alexandra typed the function inside the spreadsheet. Today function in Excel is a built-in function that returns the current date as well as the date value. It's a volatile function, meaning that it recalculates whenever any worksheet containing the function is opened or changed. And this is obviously true because today's is changed, and yesterday was a different today than today. So the today function is useful for displaying the current date in a cell. But in this scenario, Alexandra used wrong data format with today function. So as the solution, she needs to correct the data format to desired data format. Did you figure answer on your own? Or did you come up with the different answer? Please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. I have a surprise for you. And my surprise is the practice question for you to solve. Lakshmi needs to determine the smallest quarterly sales amount for 2023. Which of the following formulas can she use in Excel to accomplish this? You're presented with the data set and 4 possible choices. Take a close look to see if you can select choice A, B, C, or D. And once ready, make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. This would allow me to give you my feedback. Thanks for participating and good luck solving the challenge.
Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you for helping us to become one of the largest YouTube channels to help people become smarter, increase your IQ, and to pass any test. If the content of this video was helpful, please make sure to click the like button to help YouTube algorithm promote this video and help other people to find it faster. Giving us a like is also a way for you to tell us that you need more content like this, and when you tell us, we will deliver it for you in the future. For links to free and premium resources, please check the description and comments of this video. You can also go directly to our website, howtoanalyzedata.net, to download the materials related to this topic. I really appreciate your endorsement, support, and patronage of this channel. And thank you for considering to become a member and considering to subscribe. Please leave feedback, suggestions, or corrections in comments. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.